In a previous example, we had looked at how we can insert data into our database. And then we looked at how we can query for all that data within that database. In this example, we're going to look at how we can delete data from our database. So if we want to delete an entire row, I'll bring this down here to the commented out area, and we're going to do again the same thing where we've got this query and we need to write out our query in order to delete. And we saw that earlier, that if I click delete over here, we see, do you want to delete from where ID equals 7? And this is actually going to be the same query that we have to put in order to make that delete as well from our PHP code. So let's open that back up and select that. And notice that this is where we're using that ID. So we're deleting from test area and this is just identifying which column we want to activate, where test area ID. So we're not moving around through any other tables. So we know that we're using this test area table, so we don't have to re-identify it either. So we're going to delete it where it equals to 7, and we do need to make one adjustment, because now that we've already deleted 7, let's go after ID 6. And we're going to delete out ID 6 there, and the query itself is going to be the same thing. So we're just going to copy this over here and can bring this down to just a Boolean value. So we're going to do, again, connecting to the database, query, and if it comes back true, then we're going to know that we've actually deleted that entry. So echo was deleted. And let's go open up our browser and try this out. So now when we refresh it, we're going after and we're deleting it. And when we refresh it, we can see, take a look at that with ID 6, and we see that we've deleted it. Now, of course, we can delete multiple values as well, and sometimes this is something that you've got to be really cautious of when you are doing your deletes, that you don't want to delete entire sections of your code. So this is why we're using IDs to be the most specific to delete the entry that we want to delete. We can also add into the query string there, so we can do something like limit to 1. So if I go back into here and I'm going to do company, where company is equal to Acme, and we're going to delete out only one value from there. So if I was just to leave this, so let's take a look and see what happens this time. So when I refresh it, we got deleted. And take a look at these values here. So we're going to have probably more than one that's going to match this. So when I refresh it, we see that we're only deleting that first one. So the same thing, if I place this to limit 2, go back out and refresh it, it's going to limit the returned results to the first 2. So when I refresh it, we're deleting out those first 2. So it is sometimes a good idea to include this limit so that you don't unintentionally delete out more rows than what you're intending to delete out. So if you're only looking for one particular row and you don't have any IDs to work with, you're using one of the other column values, you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes there and delete out content and data that you need, so you can add in that limit there to limit the number of rows that get affected by your query. In the next lesson, we're going to be looking at how to update content, and that's coming up in the next lesson.